President Trump has signed an executive order titled Keeping Men Out of Women's Sports, stating the war on women's sports is over. But what does this mean, and how has the Trump administration acted on LGBTQ visibility since taking office? Let me explain. This executive order opposes male participation in female sports, citing fairness and safety concerns for women and girls. It builds on an earlier executive order and political actions by the Trump administration, majorly targeting trans individuals. On January 20th, an executive order offered a new federal government definition of the sexes, aiming to restore biological truth. The definition declares that there are only two genders, male and female. This is referenced within the newly signed Keeping Men Out of Women's Sports executive order. Following, users on Twitter began to notice that references to trans individuals were scrubbed from government websites. For instance, the travel advisory site now only mentions LGB instead of LGBT. Furthermore, reports indicate that, simultaneously, vital HIV data has been removed from official databases, a change causing concern among practitioners worldwide. A virologist at the University of Saskatchewan said, "All of the data for HIV is gone. Normally there's a menu for medical professionals, but that has disappeared. HIV data is important for marginalized groups such as LGBTQ+ individuals affected by the disease." Finally, guidance released on January 31st by Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth stated that resources would not support cultural awareness months, including Pride Month alongside others like Black History Month and Women's History Month. These actions underscore a shift in federal policies regarding gender identification and LGBTQ+ rights, with impacts being closely watched by communities and advocates. For example, supporters of the Trump administration are not just focused on trans individuals. On January 27th, the Idaho House passed a motion calling on the U.S. Supreme Court to reverse its same-sex marriage ruling, advocating for the natural definition of marriage on a federal level. The Human Rights Campaign says on the issue, transgender students' participation in sports has been a non-issue. Many states, athletic organizations, and governing bodies successfully balanced fairness, inclusion, and access to play without any problem. Even the politicians advocating for the ban struggle to name examples of problems in their states. In response to the executive order, Caitlyn Jenner, famous for her time on reality TV and former Olympic athlete, said, "Another victory in the fight for protecting women's sports. As an Olympian, I will continue to fight this issue, lobbying sport governing bodies all over the world to follow our lead." What do you think of the Trump administration's actions toward trans visibility? Let us know in the comments.